Hello, music careers class. Listen, I am really sorry that once again you're walking into this room and I am not here. Um, I gotta tell you, I miss you guys, and it's nothing personal. I don't I don't hate you, and I'm sorry that we keep missing each other. It's just been a run of bad luck here. Today I'm at Strathaven High School. It's the Region Chorus Festival, and you should have had class last Friday, except it was a half day and there was no fifth period. And then the CF day before that, I had to go to a training session over at the ESC. I was looking at my calendar and I kind of realized, man, I have not seen you guys for class since the 8th of February, and I'm not going to see you again until next Tuesday, which is the 28th of February. That is a long time to go between classes. Um, that said, I kind of felt compelled that I should actually, make this a little bit more personal so that you know that I still love you. And I hope that you're all doing really well, and we'll catch up. We'll catch up next week, I promise. Now, in the meantime, the other reason I wanted to make this video for you is to kind of explain what it is that you're going to be doing in class today. So once this video is done, you're going to see a playlist of three videos, and all of them are on the same topic but presented in kind of different ways. They're all about copyright. They're all about what the sort of what copyright is, what it means, what intellectual property is, and for us in this class, this is a really important topic to cover. This is an important topic for actually pretty much everybody in the world to know and understand. We live in an age where it's way too easy to steal other people's ideas, their stuff, their music, their art, their graphics, their books, and because everything's digital today, so it's more important than ever to actually understand what is okay, what is not okay, what is copyright law. It's especially important for us in this class. You're in a music careers class, so we're not only approaching it from the standpoint of being the consumer who wants the stuff, but we're also coming at it from being the musician or the composer, the author, the person who makes the stuff. And for people over on this side, they want to get what these people have to offer, but these people want protection to know that they're not going to just lose their stuff, or at least not be compensated for it. So we've talked a little bit about copyright laws this year, but not too in depth. And so over the next few classes, starting today, this is the topic that we're going to be getting into and exploring. So here is kind of, before you watch these videos, you heard me mention the term a minute ago, intellectual property. In one of the videos, I think actually all of the videos, but especially one in particular, he refers to intellectual property. He even abbreviates it as IP. So if you hear that being referenced, that's what he's talking about. What is intellectual property? It's the stuff that you make. Intellectual property is kind of this big umbrella, and copyright is a part of it. Stuff that can be copyrighted are things like songs, books, um, poems, um, a TV show, a movie script. These things can be copyrighted. They're tangible works of art, if you want to think of it that way, that people have created. A recording is in music. A recording is copyrighted, and then the song itself, the composition, the sheet music, if you will, is copyrighted. Um, there are other types of intellectual property, like you've probably heard of trademarks. Trademarks are like logos, brands, slogans, things like that, more for companies. And then there's also patents, which are like when you invent something, and piece of machinery, software, things like that. You can file a patent so that it's documented that you were the one who came up with this idea and designed it. So all of that is intellectual property. Copyright is part of it, and they're kind of interchangeable, but I want to make sure you understand what that means. Um, the other kind of key thing I want you to know in these videos you're about to watch, there's going to be a lot of facts and history presented about why we have copyright laws and where they came from, but there are also a lot of opinions that are going to be sort of spouted by the makers of these videos about their opinions on whether copyright law is effective, whether it's doing what it should be doing, if it's serving the right people. I'm not going to talk to you about that right now. We will talk about it next week. Here's your assignment for today. You're going to watch these three videos, and at the end of them, you're going to get a worksheet. And basically, I'm asking you two questions on this worksheet. Number one is in just a few sentences, do not, it says a paragraph, I really want just maybe 4 or 5 sentences. Can you explain in your own words what copyright law is? And when you say that, just explain why you can explain maybe why it exists, again, who it's protecting, how long it lasts, things of that nature. Um, and so that's question one: is what is copyright? Question number two has to do with excuse me. I want your opinion on something, and I'm asking you this knowing that you don't necessarily have all the information yet. But based on what you know about copyright law or what you think you know about copyright law, the question that I have for you is how long do you think someone's stuff should be protected? In other words, if you write a song, how long should that song be yours? Or how long should you deserve to be compensated for either recording that song or for having written that song in the first place? Um, you're going to see that for the most part, um, things that are created, let's just say, let's keep it in music for a second. If you write a piece of music, that piece of music is yours for your entire lifetime plus 70 years after you die. So if I write a song and I go and I live for another 50 years after today, I hope that I do. That work is going to be protected for 120 years from right now. And if my math is right, that takes us to the year 2137. That's a long time from now. And you're going to hear again in these videos some opinions that say maybe that's too long. Maybe that's not really what people had in mind when they invented copyright law. So I'm not saying right or wrong. My question to you is, if you made something, let's say you created a movie or you wrote a book, how long should that be yours? Knowing that once it's no longer yours, it belongs to the public. It goes into what we call public domain, where anybody can then access that idea, modify it, change it, update it. This would be like something that falls in the category of like a movie remake. You're going to hear in one of the videos they talk about Disney. Um, kind of a good example of this would be the story of like Aladdin. That story is not copyrighted. It's an old folk legend, but Disney's version of Aladdin is copyrighted. So you couldn't just make your own version of Disney's Aladdin. You could make your own version of Aladdin based on the old story. But that's kind of the premise of it. So those two things: what is copyright law, and then how long do you feel like if you made something, it should be protected? That's it in a nutshell. Please make sure you answer those questions. Give your worksheets to Miss Kirsch before you leave. Again, I miss you guys.